Hey everybody, Brian Tro coming to you from the South Fork of the Shenandoah River. So it's a beautiful day out, it's gonna hit 70. So my brother and I decided to sneak away from the shop for a little bit to try and get on the river and get a few bass. So good news, we've been catching a few. Still a little bit tougher on the fly rod fishermen right now. The river this time of year is pretty big. It's pretty cold still. It's just a lot easier to get down with gear, but certainly some nice backwater eddies and stuff. The fish are starting to get into position to where they're going to spawn. So they're not up in their nesting areas yet, but if you know where those spots are, they're adjacent to them. They're in the faster water right beside it, and the drop-offs and in the ledges. So we've been doing pretty well this morning. Decided to get out because there's some really cold air coming. So we're going back into the freezer a little bit. It looks like tomorrow night it's going to actually be in the 20s, and it's going to be below freezing the next few nights. So that'll slow things down a little bit. I don't know it's going to hurt our mountain brook trout fishing too much though. The brook trout fishing has just been really, really good. The water levels are good, and the hatches are really starting to come off. So bigger bugs are making their way in. Reports of March browns this week. So for those of you who have a hard time seeing little dry flies, now you've got size 12 bugs that are out there. But you don't always have to fish those. Like I always say, attractor patterns are working really well. Front end loaders, big royal wolves, Mr. Rapidans, and then caddis patterns as well. So I like to start off on the cold mornings, brook trout fishing with a dry dropper. Let the fish tell you what they want, okay? Hang your nymph off the back, tie it right off the back of the hook. Pheasant tail nymphs, whatever, it really doesn't matter. Every single mayfly nymph that's gonna hatch over the next 2 months are in the creek right now. So if you get a chance, get up into Shenandoah National Park, get up into the George Washington and the Jefferson National Forest, because it's not gonna get a lot better than this. The brook trout fishing's on fire. Been on the spring creeks a few days myself this past few days, and I was a little surprised to see a huge Trico hatch yesterday. So it's a little early. I don't know how consistent it's going to be. It's the first time I really saw the big swarms of them, but it was good to see them. On these overcast days, we still have blue-wing olives hatching, caddis here and there, and we just saw our first sulfurs of the year. So wouldn't call it a big hatch yet, no big spinner falls yet, but it's always nice to see those first ones. The first sulfurs of the year that are going to hatch off are pretty big. They're size 14 and some even maybe size 12 and bright yellow. So real easy to see, real easy to fish. Look for that to just get better and better over the next couple of weeks as we go towards May. So not a whole lot of rain in the forecast for the next few nights. Maybe a couple showers here and there, but really, how y'all doing? You can see people getting out, really enjoying the water. Yeah, so by this weekend, looks like still cool. Maybe sometime middle of next week, it's gonna really start to warm back up and feel a little bit more like spring. So anyway, get out there on the water. We'll keep giving you updates on the river. Things are gonna change really quickly over the next couple of weeks. Brook trout fishing's A-okay. Spring creek fishing, good mix of dries and nymphs and streamers over the past few days. So that's kind of a change. We've been fishing mainly subsurface. So anyway, I will see you all next week. Thanks.